Welcome to the Psychic Pastry Chef, where two unlikely worlds merge. Here in these videos, I'm going to show you how to make great cakes, desserts, and pastries you can make at home and impress your family and friends. And I'm going to give you psychic predictions for each sign of the zodiac while doing so. Today, we're going to make red velvet cake, which is a cake that was popular in the 1800s during the Victorian era and then had a resurgence of popularity over the past 5 to 7 years, especially when the cupcake stores started to rise. So, and today we also have a guest. My dear longtime friend Anita is going to assist me today in making this red velvet cake. So are you ready to get started? Let's go. Hey, Anita.
Hey, Pam.
Are you ready to make this cake?
I'm ready to give it a try.
All right. So, in this recipe, you either can use two 9-inch pans, 9-inch round cake pans, or you can make it in a 13 by 9 by 2-inch pan. So I need you, Anita, if you could put this coconut cooking spray on the bottom, make the paper stick. And even though these are non-stick pans, I'm still going to have Anita spray it because there's nothing worse than making a cake and having it stick. That's horrible. So we don't want that. So I'm using my mixer, my KitchenAid mixer, with the paddle. You can do this recipe by hand if you want, or you can use a handheld mixer if that's what you have. You do not have to have a standing mixer. So the first thing that you want to do in this recipe is preheat your oven to 350 degrees, which is happening. Grease the pans and line them. You can use wax paper if you don't have parchment paper, but I'm going to tell you, you can buy parchment paper. I didn't realize this because I bought it at the food store. You can buy parchment paper at the dollar store. They actually have it, and it's much cheaper than if you buy it at the food store. So there's a little tip for you. So the first thing in this recipe you want to do is cream the butter and the sugar in the mixer. Then you're going to add eggs and vanilla. Now, what I did with the eggs and vanilla, I put the vanilla in the eggs. I just measured it together. So I'm going to give you the ingredient list for the cake. You're going to need a half a cup of unsalted butter, 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of buttermilk, 2 tablespoons or 1 full bottle of red food coloring, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/3 a cup of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, and 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. So I'm going to start by putting the butter and the sugar in the mixing bowl. What do you think? Do you think while I'm doing this, I should start on a sign?
Yeah, I think so. How about Aries?
All right, so Aries, let's see. Aries needs some kind of break, because like a vacation or a break, because they're actually going to have some kind of revelation about something. And maybe they're going to find out they're working too hard or they're too stressed out. But there's some revelation that Aries are going to have where they're going to feel like they need to have some break. And Aries, if you are in, if Aries are in like the entertainment business or work world, or even in love relationships and with people, I hear they're going to start to market themselves differently. So that means like present themselves differently from whatever their persona was, whether it's work, business, or, you know, personal love. So now I'm going to start this. Well, I want to get it creamed together pretty well, and it's always use your ingredients room temperature. Everything, eggs should be room temperature. This recipe, the butter and the cream cheese frosting, you want to have that cream cheese and that butter out for the cream cheese frosting ahead of time too.
How about if I ask you about Taurus? Anything coming? What do you hear for Taurus?
Let's see, Taurus. What's going on? What's coming up for Taurus? I feel like Taurus needs some kind of study, something they need to study, some kind of education in something. It could be because it's something new some new avenue they're going down, or something to do with some changes at work, or some new business they want to start, or it could be for their own personal enrichment. But something, it feels like Tauruses need to study something. The Tauruses are also going to have to hold themselves back, because there's something they're going to want to push themselves forward on really strongly, but it doesn't feel like it's a good idea. Like, not that they shouldn't go for it, but they should go steadily. So whether it's a new job, a new career, a new person, a new whatever it is that they feel like, oh, I want to jump on it, oh, I want to rush towards it, they should proceed slowly. And these predictions are going to be we're recording this in June of 2019. So these predictions are going to go for now till the end of 2019 and into 2020. So, okay, so now what's the next step here? I'm going to add the eggs and the vanilla next. And whenever I do make cakes and I have eggs and vanilla and they can go together, I always just measure the vanilla and stick it in with the eggs.
Okay.
You know, always use plastic if you can, or that's why I like to use pie tins or plastic storage containers, because if you're using a standing mixer, you don't want glass or metal or anything, because I've seen it happen in bakeries where something's gone in there and that's the end of it.
The whole batter.
Yeah. So I'm going to add these 2 eggs.
Not that it ever happened to you.
It didn't, honestly.
Okay, I believe you.
But the stories I could tell of the things I've seen.
I'm sure. I've heard a couple of those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of the funniest things I've ever seen have happened in restaurant or bakery kitchens. And the hardest I've ever laughed has been there too. A lot of crazy people in the food business.
I'm sure. Well,
Hey! What are you implying? That wasn't very nice. Okay, so now we have this going. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to put in, we're going to stir the red food coloring. Anita, I'm going to give you this.
oh, you're trusting me. And it's glass.
You're right, I'm lying. Sorry, I'm lying because I just said that, but you know, I can pour it into a plastic container and then do it. Would you like me to do that?
Might be safer.
All right, now that I said that, and Mercury is in the shadow of retrograde as I'm recording this, so you're right. See, you're calling me on my stuff. So I'm going to put these over here. I wish, just so you know, I always like to bake cakes on pans, on a separate pan, because there's leakage, and sometimes if butter gets on the bottom of your oven, it's going to create smoke, it's going to stink. I always put my cake pans of any kind on another pan. Now, the ideal situation, if I was in a bakery, we would have been able to put multiple cake pans on a pan. These don't fit, so I have to put one cake on one pan, one cake on the other. So I'm going to give you this. Can you stir this red food coloring? This is the red one. All right. Do you want a bigger spoon? You're making me nervous. All right.
I'm making myself nervous.
All right, there you go. So stir that together, Anita.
You really?
Yes, put it in.
Oh, okay.
You're here to help. Were you just here to bust my chops, or are you actually going to do something? Earn your...
Let's go to Gemini.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we're up to Gemini. All right, Gemini. Let's see. Oh, and that's why she wants to know, because it's her sign. Okay. All right, let's see. What's going on with Gemini? You know, some Geminis are going to be participating in some kind of really big event. It could be like a trade show or a big gala event, a big party. It could be somebody's wedding, somebody having a wedding.
Are you getting married?
Me?
Yeah.
Haven't met Mr. Lucky yet. Notice I didn't say Mr. Right, I said Mr. Lucky. No.
Okay, so big event.
So big event.
It could be your wedding, because you said this could be 18 months out?
If miracles happen. If the universe decides to perform a miracle.
Okay.
Let's see, what else is going to happen with Gemini? I hear also, don't do this at home. You should put it in plastic. And see,
I see that's why she's doing it,
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah. Something's going to happen with Gemini where they're going to reassess their money. It could be like changing accounts, or like, oh, I want to take a trip. Do I have enough money? Or I don't know. Reassessing their money could mean so many different things. Let me see if I can get them to narrow that down. How so? I feel that there's some Geminis are going to be talking to some people in an official capacity about their money. So it could be accountants, financial planners and advisors, friends that are really knowledgeable, or talking to professionals about money, getting advice. So it could be like reassessing money, shifting accounts. If any Geminis don't have a will, maybe you should make one.
Telling me something.
Just anything financial. So that's coming up. Okay, so let's see. Next step. We stirred this in, and we're also going to now, Anita, I need you to do this. So we're going to mix. Let me give you. What am I giving you?
A hard time.
Yeah, you're confusing me. Your presence is confusing me. So I don't know if that's the right thing to give you, but it's fine. So stick the cocoa powder. We're going to put the cocoa powder in with the flour.
Can I ask you, do you always pre-sift your flour, or do you just...
Only if the recipe says to. This recipe did not say to. So you're going to stir together the flour, cocoa powder, and salt. So stir that up there.
May I?
Yes. And the next ingredients, we're not going to add these yet. At the end, we're going to stir in baking soda, and vinegar.
What does the vinegar do?
I don't know. Every recipe I've ever seen of red velvet cake has vinegar in it. Don't ask me technical questions I can't answer.
Oh, sorry, maybe we'll cut that out.
No, it's okay. I'm allowed to not know every answer.
But I'm disappointed.
I know. Well, sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to add this on low. Because we don't want to.
Slowly and surely.
Yes.
You know what, though? How about we ask about Cancer?
Okay, Cancer. What's going on with Cancer? Cancer might. There may be some legal issues that arise for Cancer. Doesn't mean that it's not going to go in their favor or it's going to be bad. They just could have some legal issues come up. And this is not a criticism of Cancer, but some Cancers might be a little preoccupied coming up with self-esteem issues. So maybe something's happened that is, it could have to do with any legal issues coming up, but I get like self-esteem issues could be rising up with them. Now I'm going to scrape this down before I add the baking soda and vinegar. Because in these standing mixers, especially this brand, there's a bubble, a lump that bumps up at the bottom, and if you don't scrape it, the ingredients like to hang around that bump.
So Cancer has some legal issues and then some self-esteem.
Yeah, some self-esteem. Let's see
that
if
could
this
tie into that.
It could have to. I also feel I don't want to give a sign like a negative answer, a negative stuff, and they're going to be like, why didn't you say anything good for Cancer? But I also pick up for Cancer, maybe it's these eclipses. You know, there's eclipses in Cancer. This could be affecting you Cancers. I feel that some Cancers may feel like they are getting left out of something. Could be a family situation, or it could be friends maybe are going to make them feel left out of something. I don't know. That comes up for them too.
Okay.
So now I'm going to stir in the baking soda and the vinegar.
Are you thinking about Leo? Do you get something around Leo?
I'm looking at how red this is.
It's pretty color.
Yeah, I actually, I haven't made this in a very, very long time, and I didn't remember it not looking brownish red. It really looks red right now. So we're talking about Leo.
Yeah.
Leos are going to want to resolve an issue with like a past relative or friend or something that was an issue with somebody.
Yeah.
Or in their life, they want to resolve it. They're going to be like, okay,
I need to make amends.
I need to make amends, or we can't have this keep going on.
Is the other person receptive to it?
Yes and no. They might have a little bit. It might not go like, oh yeah, great. Yeah, I get like this. Yeah, but then they may be like, it may take a while. I don't know that they're going to like not do it or not be up for it, but there's some
holding on stuff too.
There's some resistance, so they're going to act like yeah, and then they might be like backpedal, and then they are good with it.
But Leo wants to resolve some issues.
Yeah, I think my feeling is Leo's like, you know what? I've had it with this BS. I've had it. Like, this can't keep going on. This needs to be resolved. That's what I hear. Like, Leo's really great at taking the bull by the horns and like when they're motivated, you know, when they want to get something done. Somebody's here. Somebody came.
Do you think it's a Leo person?
Who is here? Let me see. Usually that's a deceased loved one to me. So it could be a deceased loved one coming in for a Leo. Had a lot of deceased people coming in lately.
They do like you.
But they've been showing up lately a lot, really. I don't know whether it's planetary, the eclipses, or more than usual. Let me see. Who is this here for Leo? For some Leos, it's definitely a family member. And for many Leos, it's a sister. Could be a sister.
Is there a message?
Leo's getting bollocks down by other people's ideas, making some stuff too complicated. Meaning
they have an idea, but then everybody adds their input of what they think they should be doing?
Yeah, like they're hearing too many people sticking their 2 cents in. Exactly. Like they got this idea, but then this one's saying, oh, you should do it that way, you should do it this way. So
are they telling you that they should stick to their idea and not be swayed?
Yeah, not to listen to them, but then stick with their original plan. So now we're going to put these into the pans and get them in the oven.
Looks really good. Yeah.
See how red that is?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next step is we're going to fill these pans and get them in the oven.
So while you're doing that, can you tell me about what's going on for Virgo or any messages for Virgo?
Oh, yeah, Virgo. Wow. Well, Virgo, I see having to go through a big mountains of paperwork. They're going to have a lot of paperwork they have to contend with, more than usual. And it could be because of a will, an estate, or something they're buying or selling.
Okay.
Let's see, what else is going on with Virgo? Some Virgos are going to lose weight. It could be because they want to. They could be, going on a diet or a health kick and wanting to trim down. Sometimes, believe it or not, sometimes just planetary changes can actually make people lose weight. I'm always asking people, when
am I going to lose some weight?
Hey, astrologers, what planet is it when the...
lines for me to lose weight.
Yeah, when's that going to happen? Because, it seems to like to go the other way.
Well, you are a pastry chef after all.
Well, yes, but I don't... Can you imagine if I made pastries and ate them every day? That would be a sad, sad state of affairs.
We'd have to have this behind a curtain, and then arms would be going around and making the cakes.
Libra. Let me see what's Libra, because
Is Libra next? So how do you make it so that... Because when I do this, I'm never sure how to make them both equal amounts. It's just eyeballing it?
It's eyeballing it, but, for a brief period of time, years and years ago, I worked at a hotel in Philadelphia, and, I've always made many, many, many cakes at a time, no matter where I worked. But when you're in a hotel, you're making way more than normal.
Two, yeah.
Normally I'd make like 6, 8 cakes. Sometimes we'd be making 16, 20 cakes in a hotel. And we weigh it.
Ah.
The pan would go on a scale and we would weigh it out. But you know what, at home, you're not going to go to that extent. So,
Sorry, I got you off track for...
That's okay. Libra. Libras need to, I get this like vivacious, uncontrollable urge to spend. They may want to go on some kind of spending spree. You know, like, you know how people do emotional eating?
Yeah.
And then there's, yeah. And then there's retail therapy.
Yeah.
It could be because of that, or maybe they just got some money and they're like, hey, I'm going to spend all the money. Let's go shopping.
It doesn't have to just be clothes. It could be a car.
Yeah, it could be anything. Yeah, but I kind of feel more like, well, yeah, it's for something luxurious.
Okay.
It's for like luxury things, I feel like, jewelry, clothes, purses, could be a car. If it's a luxury car, they're not going out and getting some clunker. It would be something expensive. Libra, what else is going on with Libra? Some Libras are going to hook up with somebody that they knew from the past and maybe have some kind of little fling.
Tryst, huh?
Uh-huh. And that could even be for already married Libras too. They might even do that. So, or even if you're single, don't be surprised if somebody comes back from the past and even if you don't get back together, you may just have an encounter, you never know. That comes up for Libra too. Okay, so I am going to, let's put these in the oven.
Before you put these in, I noticed that you moved all the racks up.
Because the heat source of the oven's on the bottom. So the ideal situation is to have the two cakes on the same level.
Okay.
That would be best. But in this case, I can't because I told you I don't want the butter to leak on the bottom and then it'll smoke and smell. So I always put it on a pan. But if you put too low, that one's going to cook too fast and then the cooking time is going to get thrown off. That one's going to be done. If you wait 30 minutes, one might be done in 20.
Got it.
See, so, all right, so we're going to put these in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. And it can be 30 to 35 minutes actually, but 30 minutes is what I would check it at. And then while the cake is baking, we can make the cream cheese frosting that goes with the cake. Okay, so we're going to make the cream cheese frosting for the red velvet cake while the red velvet cake is baking. So what you need for this recipe, I am increasing it from what I normally would because I want to pipe a border around the bottom of the cake and one around the top and make it look fancier. If you're at home and you don't feel like going to that piping extent, you could reduce this recipe by a quarter. Okay, but I want a little extra cream cheese frosting so I can do that. So this recipe I'm giving you is 9 ounces of cream cheese, 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter, 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and 6 to 7 cups of sifted powdered sugar. But I ran out of vanilla, so in this recipe, I am not using it on the camera, but you should use the 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla if you have it. So this is pretty simple. Everybody knows cream cheese frosting. It's not really mind-shattering or a puzzling recipe. You're just going to cream together the butter and the cream cheese first till it's light and fluffy, and then you're going to gradually add the powdered sugar in, like 2 cups at a time, just so it's not, you want to control the stiffness of it. Some people like it not real powdered sugary.
Right.
They want it more
smooth,
more dense and cream cheesy. But
okay.
If you want it more fluffy, like an icing-y fluffy, you're going to want to add more of the powdered sugar.
So can I ask you about, we're on Scorpio.
Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. What's going on with Scorpio? There are some Scorpios thinking about retiring, or there's a job they want to leave. Even if they don't want to retire, they might want to leave and take a break or start a new job or career.
Is it okay for them to do that? Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like Scorpios are really going to be focused on and thinking about how much money they've spent over the past year. Like, I get them looking at their finances, like, but I don't know, they may be budgeting their money, but if they're not budgeting it, I feel like they're going to, maybe they spent more money than they thought, and they're like, man, I better go back and look at how much money I spent. Or maybe they're just trying to get a handle on what is their spending and create a budget. I don't know, but I get Scorpios looking at their spending. Or maybe even spending habits. Some Sagittarians are going to be getting involved in a unique situation, and it could even be like almost like they could work for a nonprofit organization. They could be getting involved in a fundraiser situation. But even if it's not involving that, it could be a caregiver situation, or like helping out at a school, or helping out elderly people, or being in hospice. But there's something that feels very humanitarian, help-oriented, but there's something about it that's going to be a unique situation.
With the political campaigns coming up in 2020, could it be getting involved politically?
It could be. Yeah, because there is some kind of like humanitarian or volunteering or caregiving aspect to it. So it could even fall into that realm. I'm gonna, so I can get it in a bigger clump here. I'm gonna, so that was Sagittarius.
How about oops.
Yikes, see? Don't go too fast. No, no, no.
How about Capricorn?
Some Capricorns may be speaking in front of a judge, to a judge, in front of a judge or jury. This could be their job. They could be a lawyer. They could be in the legal system in some way. Or there could be something that maybe they get called to testify about something, because I get some legal things, but it's not like, I'm not getting the feeling here like Capricorn's in trouble. Or, I mean, there could be some out there that are, but I feel like they may have to speak in front of a judge or jury for something. If you're a Capricorn that's prone to like acid reflux, or they may have some kind of physical thing that makes them feel like that acid reflux, or like heart palpitations. I'm not saying a heart attack, but there could be some issues that
pops up.
I'm getting this thing, my throat's doing it. I'm getting like where I want to swallow, but it's like it could be acid reflux or something. It could be something digestive related, but if it is, it's coming up and down, like it's not just stomach or intestines. It's somewhere like up in here.
Is it something that they have to get looked at, or is it just something that's going to happen?
Yeah, I think they should get it looked at. I think they should. Doesn't mean it's going to be bad, but they may need like,
a prescription.
They could. Oh yeah. Yep. Ooh. I'm creating a cloud here. I might even add a little more. I sifted 5. It says 6 to 7 was what I thought would be needed, but I wanted to see what it looked like first before I did the additional cup. But I'm not done adding this yet, but I'm wondering if we're going to need to do that. We might not need to.
Are you going for the beginning? You said like a smoother icing type of a.
I'm not one of the people that flavor-wise, I like it when it's denser cream cheesy-ish.
Okay.
Flavor-wise, but to decorate it and to work with it myself and to pipe it, I like it more the other way.
Okay. Because
sometimes if there's too much cream cheese in it, the ratio, you know what I mean? Like it's a denser. It's sometimes if it's warm out, the cream cheese, when you're trying to pipe it, it gets runnier on a hot day. Or if you pipe it and then you're having it sit out, it could like kind of spread. The more cream cheese that's in it, the more powdered sugar that's in it is going to make it last better. I don't know how else to say that. Like hold its shape better. So I'm going to have you sift, because I am going to do the additional cup. So here, I'm going to give you this sifter. Now, I just use a strainer. You can use a sifter if you have one of the hand sifters. You guys can use that. But I'm going to add a cup of confectioner's sugar, and then you're going to sift it in that bowl for me, all right?
Okay. So after Capricorn, is it Aquarius?
Oh, of course, Aquarius. Aquarians are going to have the rights to something, like they're going to own something. Like, I don't know if they get it through like an inheritance or it's something that they've worked on. I can't see what the rights to it is, but they're going to have the rights to something.
Are they getting like a copyright? Do you have to purchase it?
It could. Yeah, you do have to. Well, no, some things are not. You don't have to pay. But some things are, you do have to pay.
Okay.
If you're trademarking something, you have to pay. Let's see. It could even have something to do with things on social media, possibly. I don't know what they mean by that, but so if you're posting things on social media, you may have some rights to something. I see and to do this, I feel like Aquarians are filling out some kind of forms or paperwork. So it's not something that, oh, you just have the rights to it. There's things you have, forms or things you have to fill out about it. I'm going to check the cake.
It smells really good.
Did you get through it? Oh, it's still a little bit. What
Yeah,
you can do, you just push the little, because the granular stuff isn't going to go through. That's good.
Okay.
That's good. I'm just going to check these cakes. How many minutes left? We have 6 minutes, but I'm going to test it just to be sure.
Wow. Oh, wow. Looks like it needs to be cooked.
Yeah, way too gooey yet.
So are you getting anything else for Aquarius?
Yeah, I'm getting that Aquarians are going to propagate something new that's going to grow and expand. So it could be a relationship, but it feels like more like it could be a business, like a website or something they want to start. Doesn't have to be a website. It could be some kind of business, or
Could it be a business they currently have and they're just expanding it?
could be a business they already have and they're going to take off on a new angle of it. But whatever it is, it's like almost like propagating. I feel like means plant seeds and make it grow.
Yeah.
Because I get propagate and grow. So if it's in an existing business, it's going to still be something new about it. That seed that gets planted and grows.
Awesome.
So I think I've got it.
Looks good.
I'm going to really let it whip. So, just so you can see, we had to break for a minute with the cameras, but I'll show you. And this was done at that time. So you can see this is what it looks like when it's ready to come out of the oven. And it actually only took, what did it take? It didn't even take 30 minutes. 26 or 27 minutes in my oven. Now everybody's oven temperature is going to vary. So it could take you the full 35 minutes, could take you 30 minutes. So I would put the timer on at 25 minutes or 27 minutes and check it. That's what I did when I checked it at 27 minutes or whatever I checked it at first, which wasn't quite done. Then I only let it go a couple more minutes and it was done. So 30 minutes max, I think, on these, unless your oven runs really low. So I'm going to invert these. Let's see. This is always the fun part because,
Yeah.
sticking can always occur, but hopefully not. This doesn't look like it's going to.
Can I ask you about, I guess the last but least sign, is that Pisces?
Oh yeah, Pisces. Let me think about Pisces.
Maybe I shouldn't ask why you're trying to do that.
Yeah, maybe not. Let me have a cool head. Let me have a clear mind because, I'm kind of worrying at the moment. I'm not really.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'm not really worrying. All right, there we go. So see, isn't that weird? Look how it looks like browner here, but
Yeah.
on the top, it looks redder. So this has to cool before we can ice it with the cream
Smells
cheese
good.
frosting. So that's going to cool over here. So Pisces, let's see, what's happening with Pisces? there's some Pisces that are going to be looking into spending time with someone new. Now, for some Pisces, this could be a new love, or it could be a new friend, or it could even be if a Pisces has a baby that gets born into their family and they're going to be spending time with the baby, or if a child gets adopted, they, spending time with could be somebody like that. But for some Pisces, it's going to be love. Okay, so don't ask me while I'm flipping.
I won't.
Okay. We don't need that.
Pressure.
Okay, there we go. Pisces. So what else is going on with Pisces? Pisces are going to be talking to somebody that gives them a leg up in their standing so it could be at a job, in their career, like if they, so they could be talking to somebody like, hey, can I get a promotion? Or something that would improve Pisces standing in some
networking.
way.
Maybe?
Yeah, well, it's more like, hey, aren't I doing a great job? How about you give me the raise? Or, hey, don't you like what I'm doing? I really want to do that job over there. So how about you let me do this job, but I also do that job, and you can give me more money too.
That's
that kind
right.
of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have to take a little pause while this cools, and then we'll decorate the red velvet cake. Okay. So now we're going to decorate this bad boy. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, now you don't have to do this. I'm going to take off, just level it a little bit, but you don't have to do this if you don't want. What sign? Did we have another sign left? No, we did. We did them all, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
God, look how.
So I'm going to put that over here. And now this is the plate I'm going to use. So I'm actually going to flip it this way. Let me make sure. Hold on one second. Do.
What's going to happen to that piece over there?
Anybody can eat it, or really what I would normally do in a bakery, although for the essence of time I'm not going to do it today, we would save the tops of cakes and dry them out and grind them up in a food processor, and then use them on the sides of cakes to decorate. So when you see cake crumbs on the sides of cakes, that's where they're getting it from. In a professional bakery or pastry shop, they're cutting the tops of the cakes off and drying them out and grinding them up. That's how that happens. Okay, so what we're gonna do, so we have our nice fluffy, doesn't that look good?
That looks really good.
If you like cream cheese frosting, yeah, you think it looks good. I like cream cheese frosting. Where'd I put that? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, so let me move this out of the way here for a second.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm putting a wet paper towel here, so this won't slide around when I'm turning it on the turntable. The plate was sliding around.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna spread this out. I know. Are you tasting the piece already before?
I am.
I know. Okay, so in a bakery, I would have cut the top of this off. I don't know if I should do that. Maybe I should. You don't think so? To level it a little bit? I'm kind of, it's kind of a habit. I'm going to. Sorry, Anita.
Okay, I guess more topping for me.
All right. So like I said, normally in the bakeries, we would save this and we would grind it up. There you go. What do you think of it? Is it good?
Very good.
All right. What else are you going to say?
That's good. I can't wait. Hurry up. No.
Should I do it this way? I'll do it this way. Okay. All right. Why am I having difficulty deciding things? I have no idea. I think because you're here, I'm having confusion.
You're
Are you
afraid of what I might
noticing?
say.
Are you? All right. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to get serious.
Can anybody see that? Why do you have mixture right there?
Well, this is going to be, I took some of the icing out because I'm going to add red food coloring to it, and I'm going to pipe some designs on it after I get the cake iced. So you're jumping ahead of the story.
Well, I thought that was for me.
This?
Yeah.
To eat?
Yeah.
No, but you know what you could do? You could, here, you could help me. So take that, well, you are supposed to help.
Oh.
Not just look pretty. There you go. So,
Both things I'm not accomplishing very well.
okay, ready? So just stir it up because I'm going to use it. I guess that's all I can get out of it. That's the end of it. Hope it looks red and not pink. Wow, good thing I did the additional.
Extra.
You know what? Maybe I
Should have done more.
Yeah, maybe.
You always make this look so easy, and it's not. I don't ever find that it's easy.
You know what? I am going to use the cake crumbs. All right, so I finished icing the cake, and I marked it off into 12 slices, but actually a 10-inch cake could serve 16.
Okay.
But people don't have to cut the cake where I've marked it. You can, in a restaurant or bakery, you have to mark it off, right? So I did actually make the cake crumbs, even though they're not,
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I needed to press them in a little bit more. They should be more dry. That's the thing. They're not really dry enough, but I wanted to show you what you can do with the crumbs if you cut them off the top. They would be finer, drier. These are these are just baked crumbs. And you can do this with nuts if you wanted to put almonds or pecans or some kind of nut. I think I did get them all the way.
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay, so I'm going to put this back on here for now. And I actually am going to make a mess right here because I can sit here and look at it. I'm pressing these in further because, like I said, they're kind of wet. You could go all the way up the side. You could, cover the whole side. You don't have to just do partial.
Or you could leave it for your friend and just not have crumbs at all and just let her eat the toppings.
Yep, that could happen too. All right, so now, let's see. I'm going to pipe the decorations on the cake. All right, so now I want to do an alternating shell around the border. This is why I wanted the extra frosting. If you're making this at home, you don't need to pipe if you don't want to, unless you want to. You certainly can do it. I'm using a star tip with a coupling on the end of it, or you can get the star tips that fit into the pastry bags themselves all the way in. This is coupled onto the outside. All right, and even though I put the crumb border, I'm still going to put a shell border on the bottom. Might as well have the people that are going to eat this cake have the extra cream cheese frosting instead of
I'm sure they're not going to be disappointed.
instead of us having any of it. So I'm still going along all the way around the bottom with the shell border. And then I'm going to take that red icing that I had you mix up. And I'm thinking, I don't know, Anita, what do you think? I was thinking of doing maybe like a S design, or should I, I don't know. Well, one thing I'll do is I'll go along here with the red, since it's red velvet, and just, boy, that really did turn out red, didn't it? I thought maybe it was going to be
too pinky.
Kind of pink, but really it did turn out bright red. I'll make fleur-de-lis on the top, and then I'll accent it
With red?
with red. I won't do the that. I won't do fleur-de-lis because the pastry tip I have on is kind of too big for fleur-de-lis, and I don't want to change the tip. So
what's this called?
this is just a star tip. Oh, the design?
Yeah, the design.
I don't know.
Pam special.
Gooberific. All right, and then we'll take this.
It looks nice.
All right, you ready for a piece?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay. Ready?
I've been ready.
All right, okay. Let's have a piece of this.
You always make it look like it tastes delicious. This is going to be the ultimate test.
Oh, well, you have doubts, do you?
Actually, no, I don't.
Boy, you can't get any fresher than this.
No kidding. You're being very generous with my piece.
That's okay.
Because that's your piece and this is my piece.
Ah. All right. So, don't stab me in the eye. Thanks. Okay. All right, let's see. Go ahead. You give it a go.
I'll give it a go. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What, are you taking it?
It's really good.
Wow.
That's really good.
So I hope you enjoyed this recipe of red velvet cake and my special guest Anita, who is now off enjoying her piece, which we were supposed to share. But please remember to follow your true passions in life. That way you'll know you're on your true path. Until next time. Thanks for watching The Psychic Pastry Chef. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in getting any of the special videos I've recorded for my Psychic Pastry Chef Vimeo On Demand channel with more recipes and psychic predictions for 2018 for each sign of the zodiac, you can access these videos for purchase by clicking on the link below this video, or you can go to my website, www.thepsychicpastrychef.com, and click on the videos tab on my menu. If you're interested in scheduling a private psychic reading with me, or purchasing any of the special videos that I record monthly for each sign of the zodiac for my Lucky Mermaid Vimeo On Demand channel, you can access those videos for purchase by clicking on the videos tab on my menu at www.theluckymermaid.com and go to my order page online scheduling calendar for booking new appointments, which reopens every 4 to 5 months. See you next month.